This is the big idea where we bring on a big time guest to manage an epic matchup on Out of the Park Baseball 22. Play with the pros, play the ultimate baseball strategy game. And we're thinking big today with longtime general manager Jim Bowden, who ran the Reds for years and then the Nationals. Now he dominates the sports media scene on SiriusXM, CBS Sports HQ. You can read his articles on The Athletic. I'm probably missing some because he does a million things so well. I listen to him on the radio for hours each week. I have to give him one of the most epic introductions. A good friend of mine, talented, successful children, lives in my former city, the great Miami, and JB is living his best life. JB, great that intro. How'd I do?
You did great, Scotty Braun. So great to be with you, and I'm so excited to be part of this broadcast. You know why? The main reason is the two teams that are going at each other are two of my favorite teams that I had when I was a GM, and that's the 99 Reds, who won 96 games, and the 95 Reds, who ended up in the LCS against the Atlanta Braves, just 4 games away from the World Series. And I've always wondered which was the better team, because they were pretty even. And we're going to get to find out today.
That is exactly what we're going to do. We are going to match up your two top Cincinnati Reds teams and play them against each other. And yes, if you're unfamiliar with seeing Out of the Park Baseball 22 and how it works in these kind of simulations, it's all good. We can have two Barry Larkins. We will have two Barry Larkins. One Barry might hit it to the other Barry, or who knows? We'll see which Barry's better, 95 or 99 in this one game. Winner take all. So let's set it up. JB, first off, which one is going to be the road team?
We're going to have the 99 Reds on the road. Why? Because the 95 team got to the NLCS and the 99 team lost that one-game playoff to the New York Mets, that game 163. So they're going to be the road team, and the 1995 Reds will be the home team.
It also gets me thinking about one other Reds team as we're setting this up. 1994, your team was leading the division, right?
Yeah, again, the first place team. We weren't able to bring that team completely back. And one of the key players on that 94 team was Kevin Mitchell, middle of the order, impact bat. But what we did the prior year is we signed Ron Gant with a broken leg. Even though the doctors doubted he would ever come back, we signed him for not only that year, but the following year at $500,000 with $3 million in incentives. Weren't afraid to guarantee him that money. And Ronnie Gant ended up being a key player on that team in 1995, the following year, replacing Mitchell in the middle of the lineup for basically the same money.
Yeah, 29 home runs. He led the Reds in that category. He was an all-star. It was a wise move. 1999 Executive of the Year, one of the lowest payrolls in baseball that year. And that was pretty frequent of the 90s Reds, just finding gems left and right. That's why JB's here with us right now, explaining these two brilliant rosters that were put together. So let's go through a few other settings. We're not doing DHs, I'm assuming, with two NL teams?
Yeah, we're not going to do DH. NL teams, no DH with either team. We're not going to go there.
Okay, and these are end-of-season rosters loaded up for the playoffs, right?
No doubt. This is October baseball. We're going to find out which team is better. And it doesn't matter. Like the first half of the year, the 95 team had Deion Sanders. He was traded at the deadline, though, in a deal for David Burba, Mark Portugal, and Gold Glove center fielder Darren Lewis. You know, that 95 team didn't have David Wells the first half of the year. He was picked up at the trade deadline as well. He was a key factor. So we're just going with the rosters at the end of the year. This is playoff time. This is where the excitement comes in. So we're going with the rosters that were playoff eligible that year.
And we'll have end of season 25 players. Injuries can happen as we create the exhibition. By the way, Deion in 95 also happened to win a Super Bowl for your Dallas Cowboys. So I'm sure you still loved him, right?
Oh, I love Deion to this day. And I tell people, of all the players that I ever had as a GM over 16 years, there wasn't a better teammate than Deion Sanders. There wasn't a player that cared more about his than him. There wasn't a person that wanted to learn more than him. And he did some things in those early days with the Reds with his speed that I've really never seen before, including scoring from first base on a routine ground ball to shortstop. He was electric, no doubt about it. Better football player, Hall of Famer than he was a baseball player. But I've said this, and I said this to Deion at the time. Had he played baseball full-time and given up football, he would have been in the conversation with Ricky Henderson and Timmy Raines as one of the greatest leadoff hitters of all time, but he couldn't do that. He wanted to play both. He was better at football. He couldn't give it up. And so in baseball, he was never able to live up to that potential.
Prime stole 16 bases in 33 games for the 95 Reds. I mean, he could take bags at will. Okay, so now we're going to set lineups. You GM'd both of these teams. You're going to manage the home team 1995 squad, correct?
Yeah, I'm going to manage the 95 team because they went the furthest. I got to give them the respect. Although I will say the 99 team had the best clubhouse I was ever around. You want to talk about fun. And I know one of your colleagues at MLB Network Television, Sean Casey, he would do this unique dance after every win that was must see. Like I had to leave my GM's box with 2 outs in the ninth before we'd win a game because I had to go see Sean Casey do his dance in the clubhouse and watch every man in the room just crack up at a ridiculous level. So I got to tell you, although I'm going to manage the 95 team, that 99 team was one of my favorite all time because of the great young human beings with energy. They remind me a lot of this year's Padres and White Sox teams in terms of that team was young. They arrived a year early than we expected. And boy, behind the scenes, you talk about a great group of guys. They caused a little trouble at night. They kept me up at night, but they were a lot of fun.
The mayor, I'm going to have to go to Case at some point. That's material. I don't know if it's TV material, but I'm going to get that dance out of him in the next few weeks. That's for sure.
You got to do that.
I love it.
I'm telling you. And it was showtime. You ask him about it. And that was also during the wrestling era. And boy, oh boy, were my players into wrestling at that point, led by Sean Casey.
Yes, he loves it. He still lives by it. That's how he talks. He has all his catchphrases, just like some of his favorite wrestlers. So let's do this.
Right.
We want optimal lineups, JB. So even though you're going to manage the 95 Reds, of course, you're a fan and you want to just see how this plays out in the best way possible. So I'm sure you did some homework anyway, and you know what this optimal lineup looks like for the 1999 Reds. So this is just, the default lineup that's out here right now. Why don't you set up the starting 9? And also, let's start with the pitcher. So Juan Guzman's in here for now, but I'm sure you're going Harnish, right? Is he going to start this game?
Yeah, I'm going Pete Harnish. Look, this was the best pitcher that year. We assigned him to a low base salary with incentives, but he keeps you in games. And we had made the trade for Guzman at the deadline. He was an impactful guy, but Pete Harnish was the best pitcher. He was the big game guy. That's who you want to give the ball to. So Harnish is going to make the start here.
Okay, and then let's set up the optimal prime 9 for this 99 Cincinnati team.
Yeah, order is important here, and we're going to have Pokey Reese lead off and play second base. Even though Barry Larkin's the best leadoff hitter, Barry always preferred hitting second in the lineup. And if Pokey Reese gets on, we want to be able to hit and run with Larkin. Larkin likes to go the other way. So we're going to have Pokey lead off at second base. He's got as much range as any second baseman you ever saw outside of Roberto Alomar Jr. Really special. Not a great hitter, but if he gets on base, he's got the speed. So we're going to go Pokey in the leadoff spot. Barry Larkin, the best hitter on the team, the best player on the team, going to hit second at shortstop. Then we're going to go with Sean Casey. Sean Casey, no doubt, lifetime 300 hitter. This guy can flat out rake. So Reese, Larkin, and Casey will be the first 3 in the lineup. Then we're going to bring Greg Vaughn into that lineup. And Greg Vaughn was a leader on that team. He was a key player. And this is a guy that hit 40-plus homers. I've never seen a player in my career that watched video of himself more than Vaughn. He watched every home run he's ever hit every single night to put that visualization in his mind before he came to the plate. I'm not sure always what was in his cup of coffee, but boy, he had fun after he drank that coffee. He's going to hit cleanup. In the number 5 spot.
That's the Dig Me video, by the way, JB, right? Isn't that the Dig Me video that some players like to do where they want to watch themselves do something nice before they get going again for the day?
Yes, absolutely. Vaughn led the league.
I like it.
No doubt about that. We're going to have Dimitri Young hitting the 5 spot. We're going to put him in right field. Dimitri Young, switch hitter. 300 hitter. Now, the problem with Dimitri is he chases out of the zone too much. If that was ever corrected, watch out. He would have been a star. But we want that 300 bat behind Vaughn. So we're going to have Dimitri hit 5. A little nervous about his defense in right field. Not going to lie to you, as a former GM, my knees will be knocking when the ball's hit that way. Not a lot of range, but he'll give you everything he's got. It's going to be an adventure, but he's there for the bat. We can always defense him late in the game. Okay, Aaron Boone going to hit next in the 6th spot. Eventually, I think Boone will manage the New York Yankees, and I think he'll be really good at it someday. By the way, Boone does a really good job of hitting the ball the other way. Really, it likes the ball up and away. That's his best swing. Then we got the Cam dog, Mike Cameron. We're going to put him in center field. Cammy can run him down. He doesn't always get the best jumps and angles, but he makes up for it with incredible speed and range. Not going to hit for high average, but he's got some pop, and he can win you a game with a bomb. Eddie Toppensy behind the plate. He's going to drive me crazy throughout the game. Why? Not very good at blocking balls. He's going to be running back to the backstop more than Gary Sanchez does for the Yankees today. But I love the left-handed bat. He's a threat. He's got power. He can hit the ball at a ballpark, but not very good framer. Not very good at blocking balls. Has a good arm, but my stomach is going to go bloop, bloop, bloop every time there's a borderline nasty breaking ball. And then on the mound, as we talked about, Petey Harnish will take the hill.
Perfect. Okay. And just to double check, Vaughn's in left and Young is in right, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So lineup set for the 99 Reds, the visiting squad. Now let's get to the team that you're going to manage. So on the 99 side, that is going to be managed by Jack McKeon, 3rd season as skipper. We'll get into that in a little bit. But on your side, you're GMing this 95 team, but you're also part manager, even though it was Davey Johnson back then. So you and Davey have a little chit chat. And first off, again, John Smiley is put in here just by the game, but it's up to you. Who's starting out of these guys? And you got a pretty good crew here.
Well, we're going to start Pete Sherrick in this game. Won 18 games, finished 2nd in the Cy Young Award voting that year. He was the best overall starter, so he's going to get the nod here. Pete Sherrick was acquired from the New York Mets on a waiver claim. I'll tell you the fun story. As the GM at the time, I flew to Pittsburgh to see Zane Smith pitch, and I was focused on Zane Smith. And I went to get Zane Smith, and I came back with Pete Sherrick because that was the night the pitching coach, Don Gullett, got him to use his bottom half for the first time. And all of a sudden, the 86-88 became 93-94. His stuff went to another level. And I went to Pittsburgh to trade for Zane Smith, and I came back with my own Pete Sherrick. He ended up 2nd in the Cy Young waiver claim from the Mets. So he's going to get the nod there for this 1995 Cincinnati Reds team.
Yeah, led the club in wins, innings, strikeouts, 29 starts for that 95 team. That was a savvy pickup, JB. And now let's set the starting 9 for this 1995 team that you're going to run. So is Larkin still going to be in the 2 spot for this team as well?
Yeah, he's going to be. That was his home. That's what he likes. In life, when he joined me with the Nationals front office, first thing he did in spring training, we went down to the field. He walked right to shortstop. Like that was his home. But in the batting order, his home was in the 2 spot, right? He didn't like leading off. He didn't like hitting. He liked hitting 2nd. Let's put him where he's the most comfortable. And by the way, in today's day, most managers put their best hitters in the 2 spot. Barry was ahead of his time. But let's talk about the leadoff spot because in reality, before that playoff series against the Braves, in game 1, there was a huge argument between me and manager Davey Johnson. I wanted Thomas Howard to lead off. I wanted the offense here. He wanted to go with Jerome Walton. So I'm going to have a chance to correct that now. We're going to have Thomas Howard lead off and play center field and try to get some offense out of the get-go. Barry Larkin on the 2nd and shortstop. Ronnie Gant will be in left field. Why? The revenge factor. He can't wait to get back at the Braves for releasing him, not sticking with him after his motorcycle accident. I jumped in. I was loyal to him. Love Ronnie Gant. He's going to hit 3rd. Reggie Sanders will bat 4 in this game. But I will say this. During that series, he struck out almost every at-bat. And I really wanted him to drop by game 3 to the 6th or 7th spot. But I love Reggie, good family man. So I'm going to go ahead and let him clean up. Hopefully he'll make more contact in this game than he did in reality. We're going to go with Hal Morris at first base after that. 300 hitter, sprays the ball around, contact guy. Then we're going to have Benito Santiago behind the plate. Santiago, very underrated sign that year, $500,000 contract. Former All-Star, really was a big bat there. Then Brett Boone is going to be at second base. People don't realize how special he was, a Gold Glove winner at 2nd. And what made this team so good defensively is Larkin's best range was to his left. Brett Boone's best range was to his left. Hal Morris's best range was to his right. Our infield was able to vacuum up most of the ground balls. because one player's weakness was the other player's strength. So the meld really worked out. Jeff Branson will be at third base. He platooned with Mark Lewis that year. Neither one special players. Like, they're both kind of like role players, but in a platoon it worked. Why? Both were very good defensively, and they were great platoons, left, right. Branson gets the call because he's going against Harnish. We went the left-handed hitter just like we did with Howard leading off, the left-hand hitter against Pete Harnish. And then, of course, Pete Sherrick hitting ninth at pitching, as we talked about.
Beautiful. I mean, I have nothing to say. As you say, sometime to me, verbal retweet. I mean, all of that. That is exactly the rundown of the starting nine for this 1995 Cincinnati Reds team. And I love that little combo that you took me inside with Davey Johnson, because, and I wonder if that's different nowadays too, but you're having a debate with the manager. So nowadays, I'll start up the game here. But nowadays, if that debate goes down, is it done differently, you think, because the front office might maybe have even more of a say and also numbers to back it up, maybe more so nowadays?
That's a great question, Scott. And I will tell you that, yes, it would have been a different result, because the information that you have today with analytics to be able to prove the eyeballs, back then when we were evaluating jumps and angles and ability to hit breakable, a lot of that, the velocity off of a bat speed, a lot of that was all eyeball. We didn't have the scientific proof. So we had humans debating humans based on what our vision was able to see and our opinions. Nowadays, we have all the science to back up the opinion, and we have facts rather than opinions. So we would have been able to change the lineup, because we could have even been more convincing in my discussion with Davey Johnson back then on who should lead off. We would have been able to provide more backup that I think would have been able to convince him. Because at the end of the day, the manager and GM both want to win, and we both have strong opinions, but the analytics have given us so much more information and data to make the right call. And when we disagree today, we have facts that can lean towards one point of view over the other. So I do think it would have been a different result today. As you can see, I've changed the lineup.
Yeah, well, you're the big man. You're the boss. You're the only guy right now, JB. You're running the show here. I'll give you a couple quick notes, too, and then we'll play ball. Sanders, you mentioned, in that 1995 NLCS against the Braves, 2 for 16, 10 strikeouts. So this is a good redemption chance for him. Hey, I've got to give the people a little substance to this, a little background to what JB's talking about, because he's so on the money, remembers it like it's yesterday. And then Dmitri Young, and this might have been an analytical conversation without getting too deep into it, but defensive WAR was 0 for him, which was actually a good year for him. Dmitri only had one season with a positive defensive WAR, so this was his second best season, putting him at an even 0, so average-ish WAR. A replacement level player, I guess you could call him, in defense on the defensive side, JB. So if that helps you a little bit, maybe it makes you like a tick less nervous that at least this particular season he wasn't awful. He was just in the outfield.
Well, the biggest thing for me in the outfield isn't always measured by the best metrics, but outfield range is everything to me. Being able to get to those balls in the gap, get the balls in front of you. A lot of the defensive metrics talk about what they do with what they get to, or how they, defensive save runs when you save a run here. So Dimitri's metrics that you just read may have been 0, but he was a below average defender, as Greg Vaughn was, because of the lack of range in the outfield. So this is a team that's got to bang the ball a little bit to make up for the defense. Now, certainly in center field, you got Mike Cameron that can run it down, and that really helps the lack of range that both Vaughn and Young have. But there's no question you're going to see me as the defense plays in this game. You're going to have to bunch the outfielders some more so than you want to, because of that range issue that this particular outfield setup has.
Over under 11 runs in this game total. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm hoping it goes under. I mean, I look at the end of the day, both of these teams have good pitching and really good bullpens, and the bullpen was the key to keeping the 90 Reds competitive. And whether it was the World Championship or in 90 or the first place 94, 95, and 99 teams, the one thing we had in common that whole decade was our bullpen could shut the other team down. And so I'm going to go under. I think the starters are going to be able to give us 6 quality, and then we'll go to the pen and we'll see if the pen can get the job done. But I'm going to take the under on this one.
JB, 99 executive of the year. Also, when he started managing the Reds, he was, I'm pretty sure I got this right, 31 years old, right? I know we talked about this before.
Youngest GM in baseball
GM
history at the time.
Yeah,
youngest
unbelievable.
GM
All
in
right,
baseball
JB, are you?
history at the time.
Yeah, I'm a big fan, of course, as you know, and I love telling the stories. So, are you ready? And we'll talk it out as we go. Are you ready to play out the big idea of which team is best from your 90s superstar squads?
I'm excited, to be honest with you. A little nervous, not going to lie, a little nervous, but I'm excited. I got my competitive juices flowing. Let's get to first pitch.
Let's play ball. Okay, so Shirk's on the mound going up against Pokey Reese. You're on defense to start us off here. And here's your options: pitch to batter, pitch around, pitch to contact, pitch out, visit mound, hit batter, intentional walk. And you'll let me know, each AB, what you want to do, and of course, how you want to set up the defense if at times you want to do that.
Yeah, we're gonna pitch to Pokey Reese. We're gonna take the infield. We're gonna shift it a little bit to the right because we're gonna pitch him away and try to get the ground ball on the right side of the infield.
Okay, so we'll do a weak shift to the right.
Shift to the right. Yeah, and we're going to do that because we have tremendous range with Branson, Larkin, Boone, and Morris. If we can get Pokey to hit the ball on the ground, he's not going to be able to pull the ball with Shirk. He would if Smiley was on the mound, but with Shirk, we're going to pitch him away, try to get that ground ball. And when we bunch the infield like this with the shift, we should have enough range to make any play if he hits a ground ball in the infield, and that's what we're going to try to do here.
Some out of the park baseball 22 gamers at home are watching going, wow, I need to completely rethink how I'm setting up my defense on a daily basis. I got to listen to how JB is setting up his defense for this game. So here's the pitch. It's over to the right side in foul ground, and it's popped up, and it is caught by Brett Boone for out number 1.
How about the range of Brett Boone getting over to that ball? Good first jump for him. First step was special. This guy, Gold Glove, second baseman, no doubt. Very special, very underrated second baseman during his time. And no one could turn a double play better than Brett could. His quick feet, quick hands.
You've got double play partner here, combo with Larkin and Boone. They've got the gold, as I'm showing you right here. And here's Larkin at the plate. So the 1999 Barry Larkin, are we playing him straight up?
Yeah, we're going to play him straight up. This kid's too good of a hitter. We got to give him respect, and we're going to pitch right to him.
Pitching right to the batter. Here's Barry Larkin. And he connects. Drills it. Deep left field. Barry go long. He muscles up for a solo shot. It's 1-0, 99 Reds.
And that's what Barry Larkin did. I mean, both years, this guy was the best player on the Reds during my tenure there. You know, I only had 2 players in my career that wore number 11. Barry Larkin and Ryan Zimmerman, and no other human will ever wear number 11 with the Reds or 11 with the Nationals with Zimmerman ever again.
12 home runs in 99 for Larkin, puts the team on the board first, and now it is Sean Casey at the plate, the 3-hitter. What's the plan?
We're going to just pitch right to the batter. This guy uses the whole field, foul pole to foul pole. We got to respect him as we did Larkin.
Let's do it. Casey up the middle, and it's going to drop. Sean Casey with a base knock.
Yeah, not the way we want to start the game here. So we're going to get a double play position here and hope we can get Greg Vaughn to roll one over at the shortstop. So this guy's got great power. Greg Vaughn, 40 plus homers that year. We got to show him respect. So we're going to play a double play depth, try to pitch him down the way, see if we can get him roll over one.
Okay, let's pitch to the batter. Greg Vaughn. Shirk fires, and he's caught looking. Fastball on the corner for strike 3. He'll take that.
Yeah, great pitch there by Shirk. Absolutely right on the black. Good job. Benito Santiago, great job of framing there right on the edge of the plate.
Now it's Dimitri Young. Sean Casey's at first. So with 2 outs, you're going to play normal against Dimitri, and do you want to hold the runner?
We're gonna bring the outfield in a little bit here. We're gonna bring the outfield in with Dimitri. Play a little bit shallow. Try to take the single away. He's got doubles power, no doubt about it. But we want to get the single away from Dimitri Young. So that's what we're gonna do here. The infield's gonna play straight up, and we're gonna pitch to him.
What about Hal Morris? Can he stand behind back here like this, or does he need to be close to the bag for Case? Can he stand back?
No, he can stand back with Case. Case can't run.
Yeah,
It's
he'll
going to
tell
take
you
him
that.
2 days to get to second.
And they're going to go the short way to second. Branson makes the play over to Larkin. He cuts in front of Larkin, I should say, and makes the throw over to Boone for the out. 1 run on the board for the 99 Reds. Barry Larkin powers up. It's 1-0, and we're in the bottom of the first, JB. Here's your bats, and we start with Thomas Howard.
Yeah, and look, Thomas Howard, tremendous hitter. Not the greatest defender, but this guy is a very underrated player here, represented by agent Eric Goldschmidt. So he gets to start over Jerome Walton and Darren Lewis, 3 center fielders on this team, but he's there for the bat against Harnish.
And you're going to swing away?
Yeah, swing away.
All right, let's swing away. Pete Harnish getting going. 3.68 ERA that year. Harnish trying to lead the charge for the 99 Reds. That one's in the air and caught by the second baseman, Pokey Reese. 1 down.
Yep, Barry Larkin going to swing away here. MVP that year. A lot of people thought Dante Bichette might have won the MVP because of the home runs, but Larkin wins it.
Hey, and Larkin is 2 for 2. There's 1 Larkin with a homer, and now the 95 version with a base hit to right field, and there's a 1-out base runner for Cincinnati. Here comes one of your big pickups in Ron Gant in 1995, All-Star season, 29 homers.
Okay, so we're going to steal a base here on the first pitch. We're going to try to run on Ed Toppensee. Ronnie Gant's going to take the first pitch. Lark's going to try to steal second, get in scoring position.
Now, do you want to force the runner, or should he feel things out?
No, Lark's going to force it. We're going to put the pressure on Toppensee early in this game.
Okay, here comes the pitch. Oh, and he hits it. And so the throw over to first is in time, but Larkin does get second, so it turns into more of a hit and run for you, JB.
Yeah, well, I'm going to find – there's no doubt I'm going to sit there and find Ronnie Gant here. You got to see the take sign. Mercedes has to see La Russa's, and Gant's got to see mine. So in Kangaroo Court, he's going to pay $500. I'm not happy about that. Reggie
Let's
Sanders
go.
Up
Check in the mail.
Reggie Sanders going to swing away.
I love it. All right, Larkin's in scoring position. Reggie Sanders takes strike 3 call. So Larkin stranded in second, and it's 1-0 after 1.
Yeah, very frustrating bottom of the first there. You got Larkin that had the base stolen, had Gant taken a pitch, then we would have had a situation where Gant could have driven him in. So disappointing first inning, but that's okay. We'll go back to the mound and send Pete Sherrick out there for inning 2.
Yeah, and the real loser in that inning was Gant because he owes you $500 now. We'll have to text him later. Let's get back to Sherrick, and he's going up against Aaron Boone, and we're going to pitch to the batter here? Or are we going to do anything different with the fielders?
Yeah, nothing with the outfield. We're going to keep it just in infield straight up for Aaron Boone. Here we go.
Okay. Well, let's pitch to the current Yankee manager. He sends one into right center, and Boone splits the gap. He'll head to second. Aaron Boone with a leadoff double.
And that's what Aaron Boone did so well that year. That pitch was up and away, and he just goes the other way. And that was a real strength of Aaron Boone. Loved the ball out over the plate and up. Took advantage of it, dominated. That brings up Mike Cameron. So the outfield now, we're going to play Cameron to pull. We're going to shift to the left in the outfield. We're going to shift to the left in the infield as well. We're going to play him. We're going to play him to pull. Sherrick's going to pitch him inside. We're going to try to get him to do what he likes to do here. Pull it and be positioned. So everyone's going to shift to the left.
Hard shift left or regular shift left?
Hard shift left. Hard shift left and infield shift left. Yep. There we go. That's it. There we go.
And then we're pitch to the batter. We don't need to hold the runner, right?
We're going to hold the runner here. Yes.
Okay. So we're going to hold the runner and then set the pitch up. Boone had the double, 26 on the year in 1999. And that is ball 4. The curveball misses on the payoff pitch. Cameron spits at it. 2 on.
All right, we're going to get David Wells warming in the bullpen now. I know it's early, but this is 1 game and out. So we feel some pressure here. We don't want to get this game out of reach. So we're going to get Wells warming up in the bullpen from the left side. Not going to be afraid to bring him in if he can't get the job done. Now, with the next hitter up, we're going to play a double play depth. and we're gonna shift to the right for Toppins. He's a dead pull hitter, so the outfield's gonna go to the right, the infield's gonna go to the right. We're gonna play double play depth. We're gonna try to turn two here. We got the
All
pitcher
right,
up next,
let's
so
do it.
this is a very important at bat.
And are we still holding runner?
We're not
when we're pitching.
We are holding the runner. Yes.
Okay, so let's do it. Shurik against Taubensee. After Cameron walked, he had a career high 80 walks in 1999. Here we go. And that's driven deep right field. Wall gone. Taubensee homers. 3-run shot, 399 feet. I think we should take the over on this one. I said 11 runs. It's 4-zip. Cincinnati 1999 version here in the second.
And Ed Toppensee, that was the value that year, is the fact that he's got that home run power from the left side. Again, not a great defender, but every time he came to the plate, he was a threat to hit one out. And that's what this 99 team was about. They've got a lot of rhythm, a lot of momentum. They're going to go right in and pitch it hardest now, but what a big lead for that 99 team that won 96 games in reality.
Hey, career high year for Taubensee that year, too. 311, 21 homers, 87 RBIs. Pete Harnisch with a drive deep to right. Not enough, though. Sanders is there to run it down and make the catch. Just the first out of the inning. Are we thinking about Wells yet?
We got one more batter to go here. We got Pokey Reese at the plate, so let's see what Pokey does before we make that decision. Wells is ready in the bullpen. We may have to go there. We're going to see what he does. We're going to pitch to Reese.
Okay, playing everything straight up, right? And pitching to Reese.
Straight up, yep.
Straight up, swing and a miss. Okay, there you go. Harnisch picks up, or Shurik picks up the strikeout, and that is his second of the day.
Yep. Larkin at the plate. Going to pitch to Larkin.
All right, let's pitch to Barry Larkin. He homered in his first trip, this version of Barry, and this time he's 2 for 2. He goes to right field. This is just classic Barry Larkin right now.
Yeah, no doubt. That's what Barry does the best. That's why he's hitting in the 2 spot. Loves to go the other way. But that's going to be it for Pete Shurik. He's out of the game. David Wells coming in relief right now for Shurik. A disappointing start for the player that was second in Cy Young. But Wells coming in. He was acquired at the trade deadline in a controversial deal, which really the key to the deal was C.J. Nitkowski. And Mark Lewis was a player named later. Now, you can't make that kind of trade today, but back then you could. So the deal ended up being Nitkowski and Mark Lewis, who's on this roster playing, because it wasn't announced that he was the player until the playoffs and World Series were over. But that's how David Wells became part of this team, and a very important part of the team. And talk about a fun guy in the clubhouse. I don't think I ever had a player that made me laugh more than David Wells. Outside of the one time in his underwear, he got mad and all of a sudden ran out into the hallway, into the elevator, and up because apparently Marge Schott had told his son not to wear the hat backwards. And she took the hat and made it forward on his son. David Wells didn't like it. He went in his underwear, took the elevator up, and went and confronted her. She apologized, and from then on, David Wells' son wore the hat backwards.
That is the good stuff. That's why we have you here. Marge Schott, by the way, was the owner of the team. JB was the GM, and David Wells is in the game now for JB's squad. Wells did not appear, of course, out of the bullpen back then that season, but winner take all hands on deck. David might go deep for you here. He might give you quite a few innings. Let's see how he does, starting with Sean Casey. So are we going to pitch to the batter?
Yeah, we're gonna go right at the batter right here. No doubt about that. But John Smiley's going to get up and start warming in the bullpen as well right now, because this is do or die. We can't give up another run. So we're going to get Smiley ready just in case Wells falters.
Okay, Smiley's warming up, and Wells is ready to pitch to Sean Casey. 4-0 game here in the second. Offensive burst from the 99 Reds team, and that is strike 3. So good start here for David Wells. He picks up the out to end the inning. It's 4-0 after 3 more from that 99 Reds team, and we're back to the bottom of the inning with Hal Morris in the 5 spot.
Yeah, and Hal Morris, look, this guy's been a career 300 hitter, no doubt about it. It was interesting because there was a time in my GM career where I had him traded for Raul Mondesi who was an outfielder at Vero Beach at the time. And the trade was nixed by owner Marge Schott because she told me I couldn't trade his wife. And I said, Marge, I'm not trading his wife, I'm trading him. And she said, yes, but did you see the Christmas present that his wife gave me? You cannot trade Megan Morris. I said, Marge, you got to let me trade. I have a chance to get this young star that might hit 30 homers and steal 30 bags someday. And the deal was never made. It was nixed because of Megan. So, and unfortunately, the Morrises end up getting divorced later on. But it is what it is.
Moral of the story, get great gifts for people and you won't get traded. Should we swing away?
Yeah, let's try to swing away here.
Hal Morris to right, and that's going to fall. So there's your leadoff base runner, JB, for your squad that you're managing.
Yeah, no doubt this team can hit. Now, Benito Santiago is going to swing as well. He's got some power as well. So Benito's got some pop in the bat. We need to put a string together. We're down by 4. We're not going to sit there and bunt or hit and run. We're just going to swing away here at the bottom of this order and try to see if we can't get some singles together and then get a big hit, get back in this game.
And swing a miss. There's the strikeout for Pete Harnisch. Big game Pete right now, bringing the good stuff. 1 down, and we're up to Brett Boone in the 7 hole.
Yeah, Brett Boone, one of my favorite trades was getting him for Eric Hansen and Dan Wilson. And then one of the most eventful trades is when I traded him to the Braves for Denny Nagel. And it was interesting because that trade helped us win, 96 games. So the deal ended up working. But here's the hard part. His father agreed to make the deal. The problem is his mother, Sue Boone, wouldn't talk to me for a year. And remember this, I had drafted Aaron Boone. I traded for Brett Boone. I drafted Matt Boone. Bob Boone was an assistant. Bob Boone managed for me. And then I traded Brett, and the mother got upset at me, but she still loves me today.
There you go. Exactly. Good. And I'm glad. And I'm sure Brett still loves you too. Oh, wow. JB, a lot of drama back then. I felt like it could have been a reality show.
Oh, it would have kicked the Kardashians' butt had we been able to get Ryan Seacrest to produce it. There is no doubt we would have dominated. Now let's get back to the game because I need a big hit for Brett Boone here. Let's go.
All right, swinging away.
Yeah, swinging away. We need a bomb here. Get back in this game with one swing.
Seacrest, have your people call JB's people for a documentary. That one hits Brett Boone, and he'll head to first. He's okay though.
Brett Boone knew how to put the shoulder in. Maybe not like Ron Hunt and Craig Biggio, but Boone knew how to sit on top of the plate. He wasn't afraid to not pull his shoulder out like he did on that pitch. Now we got 2 men on. Good situation here for Jeff Branson.
All right, what's the move? Just swinging, letting the guys go?
Yeah, swing away. We need some hits. We need some runs. We need some base hits.
Branson sends one to left. It's hanging up there. And the catch is made by Vaughn. 2 down.
So here we're going to pinch hit for David Wells. We're going to bring up Eric Anthony to the plate. Why? Because with one swing of the bat, he can get this team back in. He's got great power. And that means that John Smiley will take the hill next inning. David Wells out of the game. But with a couple men on here in this situation, we need to get a big hit. Anthony's capable of hitting the ball in the ballpark. Let's see if he can do it.
I love this aggressive, hey, we have no tomorrow approach from your 95 Reds team, JB. Let's see what Eric Anthony is made of with 2 on. We're swinging away?
We are swinging away and trying to hit one out of the ballpark and make it a game.
Yeah, that would be nice, Eric. Make him look good. Sends one to center. It's caught. Good wood on that one. Not enough to leave the yard, though. It's caught in center. Cameron makes the catch. And now let's put in John Smiley for David Wells.
And that was the best part of that 95 team was the big 3 left-handed starters, Sherk, Smiley, and Wells. Certainly the plan wasn't to pitch them all in one game, but when you're down 4-0 and it's one game or go home, you might as well get the best 3 pitchers on the team there before we go to the bullpen because we need to at least get 6 innings out of this starting pitching before we go to that pen.
Yeah, let's see if Smiley gives you a few frames. We've seen the 3 lefties in the first 3 innings. So Smiley going up against Greg Vaughn. Ready to go?
Well, we got to take the infield now, and we've got to shift him to the left. We've got to be able to go a hard shift left. No, hard shift left. There, yeah, And the reason for that is when Smiley's on the mound, most of his outs are going to be 5-3 outs. That's what Smiley does, and that's what he's going to try to do to Greg Vaughn. We're also going to take the outfield. We're going to shift them to the left as well with Vaughn up. And we're going to go deep. We're going to go deep with Vaughn. We got to respect him. We don't want to double off the wall here. So we're going to go very deep in the outfield here with the shift to the left.
So we can only do the very deep or the shift to the left. Which one's more important in this spot?
We're going to go shift to the left then. No, we want to go shift to the left.
And they're pretty far back. Okay.
Yeah, they are. With Vaughn, we got to respect Vaughn and his 40-plus homers.
Let's do it. John Smiley in the game against power hitter Greg Vaughn, who takes ball 4. Fastball misses low, leadoff walk.
All right, now we're going to go in double play depth. We're going to play Dimitri straight up. This guy can hit it foul pole to foul pole. We got to respect him. We need a double play here. If you get the ball on the ground, pitch him low, try to get the sinker, try to do that 5-4-3 double play here. Let's see if we can get it done.
Are we trying to pitch to contact, or we still want the ability to maybe get some swing and miss?
No, we're pitching to contact here. We're trying to get the 5-4-3 double play. So we're pitching to contact.
Let's pitch to contact.
Yep, here we go. Double play. Here we go.
And yet still you get a strikeout, which you'll take.
Yeah, great changeup there by Smiley. Had him way out in front. Good job for him. That was exciting. And now we got Aaron Boone at the plate. And, we're going to shift the infield to the right.
Infield to the right, or do we want double play depth?
We want infield to the right. No, we just want to go infield to the right if we can. Shift to the right.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, right there is where we want to go here with Booney. There we go.
Okay. And are we worried about Vaughn at first? Do you want the first baseman near him?
We're not going to hold him. We're not going to hold him here.
Okay.
We're trying to get Booney to hit his strength to our strengths.
Boone's 1 for 1. He doubled in the second. This time he's going to right, and it will drop. Base hit. Runners on first and second with 1 down in the top of the third.
Now we're going to play him straight up, and we're going to go right at Cameron. Double play depth in the infield. Yep.
Double play depth. Are we holding runner, or we're not worried?
We're holding runner and double play depth.
You got it. And Vaughn had 121 stolen bases in his career. He can move a little bit, although he was a little bit later in his career at this point, 34 years old. That's a strikeout and a big one. Santiago, nice job framing for strike 3.
Yeah. So now what we're going to do is intentionally walk Toppinson to load the bases to face Pete Harnisch.
All right, here we go. Toppinson head to first.
Pete Harnisch.
Bags are loaded up.
And the reason we're making this move is Pete Harnisch, A, can't hit, and B, if they want to pinch hit, let's get Harnisch out of the game and try to get to the next pitcher.
Yeah, and you're managing against Jack McKeon, who's going, no, I'm good. I like what Harnisch is bringing to the table. So are we going to pitch to Harnisch right now, regular?
Well, we got to wait for McKeon to get out of that runway. He's smoking a cigar right now, which is illegal. So we got to get one of the bench coaches to get McKeon to put the cigar out. All right, now he put it out. God, I can't stand the smell of this thing. All right, McKeon's back in. We're ready to go. Let's go. Let's go get Harnisch out.
Perfect. Third season as skipper at the time. Jack McKeon. Harnisch sends it to third. They've got time. Throw across is handled, and the side is retired. So they leave him loaded. It's 4-0 Cincinnati in favor of the 1999 team. They're the road team here playing in the Midwest. Top of the order for your 1995 Reds to figure out which 90s Reds team was best. They were run by Jim Bowden. He's joining me now. This is the big idea. JB, you're looking for some offense here in the home third, starting with Tom Howard. Are we swinging away?
Yeah, we're swinging away. We need Thomas Howard to get a single and get it going. We got Larkin, Gant, top of the order, and this is where this team needs to get some runs.
He checked his swing, but the appeal, they said he went around, and Pete Harnisch is so far so good, and just 25 pitches into his outing, he's picked up 3 strikeouts and 2 1/3, and now here's Larkin. Here's where you need a big spot here. Green light?
Yeah, green light. That was a bad call by the third base umpire. He certainly checked his swing. We can see it on both angles of the replay. Very disappointing call.
And Larkin with an infield single. He can do it all. By the way, JB, in 1992, I believe, you were the first general manager to say, hey, guys, I think we need instant replay.
I was, and I got criticized, and I got outvoted. Back then, there were 24 teams, and I got outvoted 23-1. It was they made fun of me and laughed, and I was the only one in the room with a coat and tie. I'd never been to a GM's meeting before. It was my debut in the meetings, and they laughed at what I wore, and they laughed at what I said. But you know what? We ended up with instant replay, so I ended up with the last laugh.
Who's laughing now? And we're in button downs playing Out of the Park Baseball 22. I love it. And Ron Gant's up. Let's go. This is our job. Yeah. This is our life.
Yeah, we need a bomb here for Ronnie Gant. This is one of my favorite players, one of my favorite pickups I ever did in my career. I need Gant to give me a good hit here. We're not going to send Larkin because we don't want to take the bat out of Gant's hands.
Gant swinging and checking, and he offered. He went around. Strike three. We see 2 check swing strike threes in the inning so far.
Yeah, and now Reggie Sanders up. We're going to let him swing away, too. This guy, great power, great speed. There's a lot of swing and misses in his game. And it's interesting because his biggest hole was a fastball down the middle of the plate.
Well, guess what? I guess they went a little off the plate, and Sanders handled it to right field.
Yeah, great job by Reggie, not trying to do too much, going the other way. When Reggie is swinging the bat well, he owns right field. Not trying to pull the ball. Putting the ball in play. Good at bat there for Sanders. Now we got Hal Morris at the plate. Let's see if Hal Morris can get us a run here and get us off the schneid.
Yeah, and Sanders that year, by the way, led the club with 99 RBIs, and he was an all-star that year. His only season as an all-star. This is ripped to center, and your team is going to crack the ice. Barry Larkin, come on down. And there's 2 in scoring position on the RBI base hit to make it 4-1, make it a 2-base hit. For Morris, he's on second with the double.
Yeah, that brings up Benito Santiago and a chance to get a couple more and make this a real good ball game. So Benito going to swing away here.
A hit could score 2. Ball 4 taken in tight. A 4-pitch walk. Hey, this is not your problem, JB, but something for Jack McKeon to think about is, hey, put out the cigar. 39 pitches for Harnish. He could be in some trouble, but he's going to ride him for as long as he can, it looks like right now. Brett Boone's up, bases loaded. Huge spot here.
Yeah, no doubt, huge spot. Jack McKeon, not a manager with a quick hook. He'll let him try to work out of it. A lot of confidence in his veteran players. So he'll let Pete try to work out of it, and we got to take advantage of this. It looks like the stuff is starting to go down a little bit here. As we go around the lineup again, we'll see if Boone can take advantage of it and maybe hit one out of the ballpark.
Brett Boone swings, punches it down the line, and that's a ton of trouble. It rolls all the way into the corner. How many will score? There's another, and we're tied. He clears the bases. It's a double by Brett Boone coming up. Oh, so clutch. 4-4, 99 versus 95 Reds.
And people criticize me for dealing Hanson and Dan Wilson, and look at that hit by Boone. What a great job. Gotta love Brett Boone. By the way, you should listen to his podcast if you want to. He's doing a great job with the Boone podcast, by the way.
And Brett was 4 for 14 with the bases juiced in 1995. He has the big 3 RBI hit, fresh ball game here in the third. And look, we have a pitching change, too. So it looks like Jack McKeon even was tired with what he was seeing from Pete Harnish. Here comes Reyes.
And as Reyes comes into the game, Mark Lewis will come into the game. He will pinch hit for Jeff Branson. So as Jack McKeon brings the lefty in, we're going to go ahead and flip-flop Branson and Mark Lewis and get him into the ball game, get that right-handed bat, see if we can't get another run here and take advantage of this rally.
Mark Lewis replacing Jeff Branson.
And Lewis will stay in the game and play third base. Yep, here we go. Swinging away.
All right. Mark Lewis swing away with Brett Boone on second. Now a chance for this team to take the lead instead. It's to the right side. Easy does it. Play made. and side retired, but not before the 95 Reds play catch up. 4-4 is your game. Let's complete the positioning here. So Mark Lewis is going to move over to third base and be in the 8th spot. And John Smiley's still in the game, right?
Yeah, Smiley's still in the ball game. We're going to take it there. He looked really good last inning. We've got back in this ball game. We got a doozy between these two teams. Look, I told you they were evenly matched. And so far in this game, Scotty Braun, that's exactly what we've seen. These are two really good baseball teams. Both are, championship caliber teams, and they are neck and neck in this one. I don't know about you. I got goosebumps.
I do too. Let's open up the 4th. Yeah, I can feel it too. This ballpark is so excited to see both of their teams, different versions of their players. It's amazing. So are we going to start with Pokey Reese straight up?
Oh, absolutely. Let's go.
Let's do it. Smiley to Reese, who's 0 for 2 so far today. This time sends it to center, but it hangs up long enough for Howard to make the catch. And Gant was heading over there as well. Howard controlling center field, taking charge, and that brings us to Larkin.
Pitching right to Larkin, right at him. Here we go.
Larkin to the left side, and throw's got to be quick. He can move. It is 2 down.
Yeah, good job by John Smiley. When John Smiley is going well, you're going to see ground ball on the left side of the infield most of the time. That's where he gets his out. He likes to throw it soft, down and away, and it's really hard for hitters not to pull that pitch. And that's what you saw right there in that Larkin out. Now we got to make a pitch here to Mr. Casey, lefty on lefty. Here we go.
Here's your matchup, and Case is going to send this one on the ground to the right side. 3 up, 3 down. Mr. Smiley, all smiles, heading back to the dugout. 4-4 game. That's a big shutdown frame.
It certainly is, and the momentum has now shifted, right? At the start of the game, the 99 team jumped out. They had all the momentum. It's now changed, and Reyes is going to go back there for another inning. I'm not disappointed about that, to be honest with you. Now, we're going to let John Smiley hit here. We're not going to pinch hit because he's on a roll. And when Smiley's on a roll, watch out. So I'm not going to go to the pen here. We're going to let Smiley hit in a tie ball game.
All right, Smiley, swing away. It's 164 average. And down on strikes, the changeup, no big deal. Let's go to the top of the order.
Yeah, and now with Thomas Howard at the plate, we're going to pinch hit here, and we're going to bring in Jerome Walton to pinch hit for Howard. Part of the reason is you got Reyes on the mound. The other part is Walton's a better defender than Howard. So this is the right time in the game to go ahead and make that change.
So when he goes back into the defensive side in the next half, you're going to put him in center?
Yeah, he's going to be in center field, a very good defensive center fielder, no question about that.
Great. Walton's in, center fielder, leadoff man, swinging away.
Swinging away. Let's go.
Let's do it. The big idea with Jim Bowden, 2 down. There's a swing and a miss on the 1-2.
And here comes Barry Larkin.
And it's Barry.
Let's see if Larkin can get a rally going with 2 men out here in the bottom of the 4th in a drama-filled 4-4 tie, both teams with 6 hits.
He strikes out, so he's 2 for 3 today. That's the 1995 Barry Larkin. And the side is retired. So back to Smiley, and the 95 Reds will take the field again. Top of the 5th, 4-4 game, 6 hits apiece. Defense has been clean. And what's the plan against Greg Vaughn?
Yeah, well-played game here. So we're going to go ahead and take the infield, shift to the left. We're going to take the outfield. We're going to play them deep. We're going to respect Greg Vaughn here, try to take the double away from him if we can, and we're going to go right at him. Here we go.
Outfield deep or very deep, and infield hard shift or regular?
Regular shift to the left and hard deep on the outfield.
Okay. So shifting left, and we're going very deep.
Yep.
And we're going to pitch to Greg Vaughn.
We got to respect his power here. We don't want to double. Keep him with a single.
Yeah, and you do. In fact, you strike him out. He finished 4th, 45 home runs, 118 RBIs, only behind McGuire. And so it actually was 4th in MVP voting, 3rd in homers, tied with Chipper with 45. But this time a strikeout, and that brings us to Dimitri Young, 5-hole hitter against Smiley.
We're going to bring the outfield in. Going to try to take the single away from Dimitri, and then the infield's going to play straight up here. But we're gonna try to take the single away from DY if we can here.
Let's do it. Smiley fires, and yet still he bloops one in front of the outfield drawn in. So just that little crevice between the infield and your right fielder playing pretty shallow. And Dimitri Young says, "Ha, JB, you can't outsmart me every time."
Yeah, well, the guy can flat out hit. That's why we brought the outfield in, though. As you could see, that's what he does. He gets the hits between the infield and outfield. We tried to take that away. It didn't work. Now we're going to get our infield a double play depth, see if we can't turn two and get out of this thing with one man out in a 4-4 game in the fifth.
Okay, and we're pitching to the batter, or we're pitching to contact? Do we have swing and miss in our
we're pitching repertoire? To the batter. Yeah, we're going to the batter. This team's too good.
Boone's 2 for 2. Yeah, there you go. You need that. That's a good strikeout right there. You get the call. Home plate umpire being fair to both sides. Wide zone there. Strike 3.
Okay, I got Cam Dog at the plate now. John Smiley's going to go right at him. We're going to play him straight up in the outfield and the infield.
Okay.
Normal depth.
Mike Cameron against Smiley, and that's ball 4. 2-out walk. Young moves up to second.
Okay, that's going to bring Toppensy at the plate here. Last time we walked them loaded to get to Harnish. We're not going to do that here, not with the pitcher on deck here. So we're going to have to pitch to Toppensy. We're going to take the outfield and the infield and shift to the right. Toppensy, a dead pull hitter. So everyone's going to move to the right.
What kind of shift do you want from your infield?
Just shift right.
Regular,
here.
Weak, hard?
No, just regular shift right. Yep, regular shift right. Okay. Yep, we're going to try to get the ball on the ground here. See if Smiley can get the job done against the left-handed hitting Toppensy. Here we go.
Let's do it. Toppensy had that 3-run home run. This time he goes the other way, and Young is going to hustle into third. Cameron moves up to second, and the bags are full of 99 Reds.
We're going to get Hector Carrasco warming in the bullpen.
Let's do it. Hector Carrasco, warm up. John Smiley in a huge spot in the game here. 2 outs, bases loaded. It's Jeffrey Hammonds who's pinch hitting. Jack McKeon in a big spot here looking for Jeffrey to come through. So are we doing anything different?
No, we're going to play him straight up. We're going to pitch to him, the Stanford graduate, smart guy, a lot of speeds, got some power, former first-round pick. Let's see if we can get an out.
To third. And they'll go the short way. Force out at second. Side retired. Big sigh of relief there. This game remains tied at 4, and we have another new pitcher in. Scott Sullivan is going to take over against 3, 4, and 5 for your 95 Reds.
Yeah, Scotty Sullivan did a great job in the 90s. He's got the low arm angle. He's a sinker ball pitcher, tough kid. You bring him in. This is a guy that can get ground balls all day long. We'll see if he can elevate one, see if Ronnie Gant can hit a bomb here for us. Get the lead.
Gant, hitless so far today. That's into right, and that is caught. Young makes the catch out number 1, and here comes Reggie Sanders.
Yeah, Reggie Sanders, guys, get him to swing away here. Loved his last at bat, going the other way. Hopefully he'll be able to do that again here.
This time going to center. Has some carry, but the ballpark contains it. Cameron's back there for the out.
At least Reggie Sanders is making contact. In reality, that year he was punching out every other at bat. So nice to see him doing a little bit better his next chance at playing in these postseason games here. So, all right, big shot here for Hal Morris to start a 2-out rally. Let's go.
They had the run-scoring double to center last time up, and he's going up Broadway on the 1-0 pitch. There's a base knock for Mr. Morris.
Yeah, great job by Hal Morris. He was the only player when we had reunions that would show up in a pair of shorts as he went on the field. Everyone else had suits on, long pants, and a nice shirt. Hal Morris would come out with a pair of shorts and a T-shirt and walk on the field, and I'd sit in my box and just scratch my head. But I'll tell you one thing, Hal Morris could play defense, and he could hit line drives all over the ballpark. He's doing a very good job in the development department. of the Los Angeles Angels presently, having a good career in the front office. So congrats to him on his post-playing career. Now we got a chance for Benito Santiago to maybe hit a gapper, see if we can't get a run here with 2 outs.
Swinging away, not a hit and run, right?
No, swinging away.
Swinging away. Morris is on first after the single. He's a 304 career hitter, Morris. This one for Sullivan to hop off the mound and make the out. And we're still tied at 4. So the offenses have cooled down a bit. 4-4 as we head to the 6th. Still Smiley, and now the top of that 99 Reds lineup. Are we good?
Yeah, we're good. We're going to continue with Smiley. We got Carrasco ready in the bullpen. We won't be afraid to go to the pen here, but we'd like to try to get through this 6th inning with that starting rotation if we can. We've had to use 3 of them to get here. But let's hope Smiley can get a quick 1-2-3 inning here against Pokey. And we're going to shift the infield a little bit to the left here and the outfield straight up. And the outfield in and straight up.
Perfect. Outfield's coming in, infield to the left.
Actually, we're going to go outfield shallow instead of in. There you go.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
Let's do that.
So
all right, here we go.
Outfield shallow.
Shifting to the left, and here's the pitch.
Pokey Reese strikes out. Nice. Smiley's been your best.
Yeah, Smiley's really pitching a great game here. I love John Smiley. Gave him a 4-year, $16 million deal. Outbid the New York Yankees when I signed him. Gene Michael, at then the late Gene Michael, good friend of mine, loved Gene Michael. He criticized me in front of the GMs at the next meeting for overpaying for Smiley. And I looked over at Gene Michael and said, yeah, but I got the pitcher and you didn't. And I had a little bit of a smile, a little bit arrogant, a little brazen on my part. I was young at that time. Give me a pass, would you? All right, let's see what Larkin does.
I love that. A little gamesmanship, and hey, he backed it up. 12 games for the Reds in 95 at least, second most wins on the club that he won. 3.46 ERA, 176 and 2/3 innings. You needed the innings too. Former 20-game winner for the Pirates. All right, so Smiley, and like you said, riding some momentum right now, going up against Larkin. Pitch to the batter.
Got to pitch to him. Don't have a choice. Here we go.
1 out. JB needs him to get through this inning, and guess what? He straightens up Barry Larkin with a fastball on a 3-2 count, and there's 2 gone.
Yeah, going right at Sean Casey. Here we go. Everybody's straight up.
Casey sends it to right, and the catch is made by Sanders on the run. Heads right back to the dugout. Another nice, tidy inning from Smiley. And here comes your big bats. Brett Boone, 7, 8, and 9. Then we'll get back to the top of the order, JB. Boone swinging away.
First of all, we got to sit down Carrasco. The way Smiley's pitching, we don't need him warming anymore.
Yep, so we automatically put him down. Your bullpen coach did great on that front.
Yeah, good job. He's ready if we need him. We'll heat him up again if we need him. But right now we got to go with Smiley here. So let's see if we can get a rally going here, Scotty.
All right. 7, 8, and 9. Bottom third of the lineup. That one to second. Popped up. Pokey Reese is there, of course, for the first out. Here's Mark Lewis. And that's a dribbler. And he's retired by Sullivan.
Yep. And
barehanded play by Sullivan.
And we have no choice but to leave Smiley in the game. He's been the best pitcher in this game. He's on a roll, so we're going to let him hit here. Not a very good hitter, but this guy certainly, John, over the years, worked at it in BP.
Yeah, he struck out on a slider, 3 up, 3 down, but with 2 outs and nobody on, and Smiley working so well, let's see what he does here now against 4, 5, and 6. As we've reached the 7th inning, still a 4-4 game. This one's kind of settled in nicely, JB. Are we pitching to Greg Vaughn, or do we have to do anything with the pull hitter?
Yeah, what we're going to have to do here is we're going to play the outfield deep again. And we're going to shift the infield to the left. And when I say shift to the left, I mean hard shift to the left. Again, the strategy with Smiley, when Smiley's going good, he'll get either the strikeout or the ground out to the left side of the infield. That's the goal here. That's why we're positioning him this way. We're also respecting Bond's ridiculous power.
Yes, we are. And there is the catch for the out. That one popped up into shallow center field. Brett Boone was on it. And Dimitri Young comes up with 1 out.
And that's the second range play you've seen in the game by Brett Boone. A lot of second basemen don't get to that ball. You watch Booney with a good first jump, was playing relatively deep, and was able to make that play. Good play there by Booney.
If you could organize any game with any players in baseball history, who would you call?
Can I interest you in a 1994 what if World Series Yankees Expos matchup? Or how would Team USA from the 2017 World Baseball Classic fare against Team Cuba? But here's the catch. This time, the Cuban roster features major leaguers. What about the two best clubs in the history of your favorite franchise? Like, who's better, the 1985 Royals or the 2015 champs in KC? Stop wondering and start watching, because this is the big idea. Big time guests dream of epic matchups on Out of the Park Baseball 22. Then we press play and manage it all, thanks to the ultimate baseball strategy game. Available on PC or the brand new Out of the Park Go on your mobile device. Take that curiosity, that all-time debate, that what if in baseball history, and make it happen. The big idea has arrived. Are you in?
Baseball player, Brett Boone, gets the job done. Okay, here's Young. What's the move?
We're just going to pitch right to him. We're going to respect him. We're going to play him straight up, normal depth. However, we're going to bring the outfield in.
Oh, I missed you there, JB, but the play was made. It was in the infield, and the play was made. I was your coach there trying to adjust the outfield, but they weren't listening to me. Smiley just wants to keep pitching because he's feeling it, and he makes the out.
We don't want to break the rhythm trying to change the position, but the fact that Reggie Sanders didn't see the sign, he's going to be fined in kangaroo court $100.
All right, checks in the mail from Reggie. Here's Aaron Boone. What's the plan against Booney?
We're going to shift the infield to the right again. Yeah, and we're going to bring the outfield in. There you go. Now we got it positioned, and we're gonna pitch him out over the plate. We're gonna try to get it down around the knees and try to get a ground ball to the right side. That's the goal. If he puts it in the air, we've got the outfielders in to go get it. Both Walton and Sanders really good range in the outfield.
Boone's 2 for 3 so far today. That one into shallow left, but it will fall. Hey, you had the right idea.
Yeah, with 2 men out, we're going to go right at Mike Cameron. We're going to play him straight up. No shifting in the infield or outfield. We're going
Do we need to hold Aaron Boone?
Hold the runner.
Do we need to hold Aaron? Yep.
Yeah,
okay, let's hold him. 2-1 pitch, and it gets away. It crossed up Santiago, and Boone's going to push up to second base.
All right, we're going to have to hold them at second base here. A single gives them the lead, so we've got to try to prevent that from happening. So we're going to hold them at second.
All right, let's do it. Holding the runner at second. Pitch. Roller. Right side. There's Morris. There's the inning. And let's stretch at Riverfront Stadium. It's 4-4 between the 99 and 95 Reds. And this is the top of the order for your squad, JB.
Yeah, but in the meantime, we got to get Mike Jackson warming up in the bullpen. We got to get him ready just in case. So we don't want to snooze on that. Now, Mike Jackson and Brantley are two of the key parts of this team. Jackson and Brantley both are lights out, hard throwing right-handers. So that'll be a good follow-up to Smiley if needed. Hopefully we can get a run here and get a lead. But plan is to put Smiley out there next inning, but we need to get him ready just in case.
Okay, so Sullivan against Walton. Nothing fancy here, right?
Nope, nothing fancy.
Walton struck out in the fourth, and he goes down on a fastball. Sullivan's been really strong out of the bullpen.
Yeah, he's done a really good job locating his pitches well. That was off the plate, and unfortunately, Walton chased out of the strike zone. And Sully can do that. He knows how to expand the zone. You saw it there with that nasty sinker.
Sully against Larkin. Here's your big bat. And he strikes up. Tried to uppercut it. Couldn't catch up. And there's 2 gone.
And that brings up Ronnie Gant, and I've been waiting for him to go yard. I know the people in the scoreboard room have the fireworks button ready. Let's see if we can get the fireworks. Ah.
Look at Scott Sullivan striking out the side. 4-4 after 7.
I'll tell you, these teams, we talked about it in the pregame show. They are evenly matched teams, and that's what we're seeing in this 4-4 ball game. No doubt about it. As John Smiley goes to the bump in the 8th inning, Mike Jackson is ready to go if needed in the bullpen. Expect a quick hook.
Batter to batter, JB.
We're gonna have the infield to the shift to the right, and we're gonna have the outfield shift to the right.
Regular shift to the right.
Regular shift to the right.
Boom. All right.
There we go.
Let's pitch to Ed Taubensee. And let's watch that infield on the right side make the play. It's Larkin over there.
You know, Barry Larkin had more range to his left than any shortstop in his era, including Ozzie Smith. Now, Ozzie had more range overall because Ozzie had more range to his right than Larkin did, but there was not a shortstop in the Larkin era that had more range than he did to the left. Great job by him on that play. Unbelievable athleticism, first step quickness to the left. What more can you say about the captain of the Reds and the Hall of Famer?
Well, Jack McKeon says, I'd like to see Michael Tucker in the 9-hole pinch hitting against Smiley, but we're still good to go. Lefty-lefty matchup, right?
Yeah, not afraid of that. We're going to play Michael straight up. I'm a big Tucker fan. He likes the fastball. I'm not going to give him a fastball. We're going to throw all secondary stuff at him here.
Okay, let's see if he listens. Is he feeling the secondary stuff? Well, that's going to be easy. Smiley hops off the mound with a smile and throws to first for the out.
What a changeup by Smiley. Tucker was way out in front of that pitch. Look at the replay there. Wow.
Only you get the replay because you're the only one that voted for it, JB. So you're the only one that gets to see what actually happened.
That's exactly right, Scott. All right,
John Smiley, by the way, 5 2/3, 4 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. He's at 89 pitches. And here, look, you can see the counter here. Green is optimal. I mean, he's getting a little more tired. If you go to the mound right now, he's going to be like, I'm good, I can pitch 12. But what's the move?
Well, there's no doubt. But this is going to be the last inning out there. Let's see if we can get Pokey Reese out, and then that's it for him. But what an outing he's had, giving this team a chance to win. Let's see if we can get Pokey out and head to the bottom of the 8th inning in a tie ball game.
You've been so good setting up your defense. Are they playing him normally, or do they need to move in the outfield?
We're gonna bring the outfield's going to come shallow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Outfield shallow, infield's good to go?
Yep, we're good to go in the infield.
Let's pitch to Pokey. He's 0 for 4 so far tonight. And this one is to the shallow outfield. And the catch is made by Gantz. Didn't have to move as much. Nicely done to bring in the outfield. Otherwise, who knows? This inning could have turned into something. So, Reese is retired. Reggie Sanders, the cleanup hitter on your 95 team, is up against Danny Graves. A friend of mine, he went to the
University of Miami, baby. Yeah, he did. Now, in the meantime, Jeff Brantley is going to get up in the bullpen because he will go and pitch the 9th inning for the 99 team. Now, keep in mind, when you talk about Danny Graves and you talk about Brantley, both of them came cheap, both developed into closers for me, both won the Rolaids Relief Award. Danny Graves was picked up in a trade for John Smiley, ironically, and Jeff Brantley was signed with a $500,000 base with $1 million in incentives. But both of them won Rolaids. Are they closers in terms of stuff? No. But these guys know how to pitch. They've got big cojones. They're not afraid to throw a pitch in the biggest moment at the biggest time right down the middle of the plate and get outs. These guys have heart. They've got competitors. They got soul. It's a battle of 2 impact closers. One from the 95 team, one from the 99 team. Brantley Graves at each other late in this game. The mama drama in the Queen City. Jeff Ruby's Steakhouse is going nuts right now. The Montgomery Inn is selling ribs like you would not believe as the Natty. Ready to go as we head to the late parts of this game. Oh, mama drama, grandma drama.
95 team just heard you saying that, and they're all kinds of fired up now too, JB. So are we warming up Brantley for the 95 Reds?
Yes, Brantley's ready to go. He's going to go in the ninth no matter what. Graves and Brantley. Here we go. Reggie Sanders up. He's got the power to go yard. Let's see if he can do it.
Everyone just heard that speech, that epic monologue from JB. And look at this team fired up. See? Take your pitch. 3-1 inside and a bit low. Ball 4. Sanders is on board for Hal Morris.
They're going to hit and run. Get ready. We're going to hit and run with Morris.
All right, let's hit and run. Also, Sanders, by the way, with 36 stolen bases that season. Going to left. Falling. Sanders is heading for third and in there.
What a great call by the manager. A hit and run works.
Yeah.
First and third for the Reds with a chance to take the lead. Santiago swinging away. Here we go.
Swinging away. Hey, Davey Johnson was managing this team, and JB's like, move over, Davey. I got this today, okay? Pitch skips away. Sanders comes home, and the 95 Reds grab the lead. It's 5-4 in the 8th.
What a great first step there by Sanders. As soon as he saw the ball in the dirt, he broke off a third, had a good secondary lead, and there was absolutely no chance as the run scores, big lead. And now Benito Santiago, oh mercy, is this going to be fun? So, yeah, let's see if he can get this RBI and go the other way here and add an additional run here.
Infield playing in, and that's a drive. Deep left center field. Can it? It's gone! Forget about it. Benito flex for us, baby. 438 feet of glory. This place is going berserk. Miami's going berserk. JB managing remotely like a pro, pressing all the right buttons, knocking out the pitcher, and it's 7-4.
That big lead, and when you got Brantley to close the game, you're in a strong position. But don't underestimate these 99 Reds. These guys can be dynamic. So this game is not over. Got to grind it out. So, okay, Brett Boone going to swing away here.
Okay, swinging away. By the way, we might have to steal Sean Casey's dance that he did for the 99 team and create one done by Jim Bowden. There's a swing and a miss, and that's the first out of the inning. But if you pull off this victory, we're going to look at all the manager buttons that you press correctly. Here's Mark Lewis in the 8-hole.
Yeah, Mark Lewis going to swing away here, try to get a line drive to right field.
There's another strikeout. So
good job by
after
Gabe
Graves
White.
gave up the lead. Yeah.
Good job by Gabe White coming in, throwing strikes. That's important here. Smiley, we're going to pinch hit here. So up to the plate now is going to be Mariano Duncan.
Mariano Duncan coming in for John Smiley in the pitcher's spot. And we will see Brantley for JB's 95 team in the 9th. Mariano Duncan swinging away.
Swinging away for Duncan. Here we go.
Nice little 3-run cushion here. Duncan sends one to center, and that's going to sit down the side. 3 runs come across for the 1995 Cincinnati Reds. This is the big idea. We had a little dancing. We had a little late game manager manipulation to perfection. And now, JB, you're going to have to tell me the move. I know what you're doing, but tell it to me officially.
Okay, well, the first thing we're going to do is Darren Lewis is going to go into center field to replace Jerome Walton. Lewis is the best defender of the 3 center fielders, Gold Glove caliber player. And Jeff Brantley is going to go to the mound. He will try to close this one out in the 9th. JB became a tremendous broadcaster for the Cincinnati Reds. Done a great job over there over the years, but I'll tell you what, he was a better closer. And this guy is stuff just average, 88, 92. That's all he brings to the table. But he loves that 4-seam fastball at the top of the zone. He was living there before this generation lived there. He lived there when the other generation didn't understand it. He knows how to expand the zone, and this guy is tough. He will throw the ball. He can have a guy 3-0. He'll throw the ball down the middle of the plate. He's not afraid of anybody. I love Jeff Brantley, good makeup. So good situation here. This defense up the middle is special with Boone, Larkin, and Darren Lewis, all three Gold Glove caliber players. And you talk about speed and range. When you look at this defense right now, Scotty Braun, in this ninth inning to try to protect this lead, understand this. Every single player on that field is an above-average defender. Every single one of those guys. Some will argue that Gant wasn't, but he was. He was that year with his range. That's a really good defensive team that's out there to help JB. Let's go.
Yeah, Gant was a great athlete. Brantley, 28 saves in 1995, and then tied for the lead in saves in 96, 44 of them. Anything different with the defense, or we're playing normal against Barry Larkin, I would think?
Yeah, you got to respect Barry Larkin here. You know, he uses the whole field, and the one thing I don't want to do is elevate anything to Larkin. Larkin is everything elevated. All I ask is own the knees, Jeff Brantley.
Keep it down. Get the ground ball you need. One batter, one out in the ninth. Home team with the lead. Here's Sean Casey.
Yeah, we're going to play Casey straight up, too. He's just like Larkin, man. These guys use the whole field, and we got to respect it.
And Brantley picks up the strikeout. You're right, JB. He went right after him. 0-2. He's like, I'm not wasting pitches tonight.
Yeah, and we're going to do the same thing to Greg Vaughn. We're going to put the outfield deep again.
Outfield's moving back.
And the outfield infield, we're going to shift to the left a little bit, not an exaggerated amount.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shifting
there
left.
You go. Yeah, that's where we're going to go. And we're going to have to go right at Greg Vaughn. We've got a 3-run lead here, so if he hits one out, we got a chance. We got to be aggressive though and go right at him, just like we did Larkin and Casey.
There you go. Ground ball to your guy, Barry Larkin. The 1995 version makes the play. Game over. Everybody's doing the Sean Casey dance right now. The 95 Reds are the JB team. Uh-oh, what do you have for me? Let's go. Let's go. Popping bottles. This is a winner takes all. And Jim Bowden, you did it. You managed a winner right there. Woo. That is amazing. How fun was that?
What an exciting game. How fun was that? What an exciting game. 4-4? I mean, it couldn't have had more drama than that, but we found out who the better team was. And remember, the 95 team did get to the LCS where the 99 team lost that one game to Al Leiter. Another one of your colleagues. I don't know why your colleagues are all in these conversations. First it was Sean Casey, and now it's Al Leiter. But, yeah, 95, congrats to that team. Good win.
Yeah, Al Leiter was ridiculous in that game, and that's why. Otherwise, who knows what would have happened? He had the 2-hit shutout, 135 pitches, game of his life. And Al was a great pitcher, obviously, for years, but just an absolute gamer. But hey, 99, 95, two classic Cincinnati Reds teams. You had some post-game quotes here, too. Hal Morris said, great for the fans. They deserve this. They wanted to see this matchup, and only Out of the Park Baseball 22 could make it happen. He said, I'm so happy for our city right now. He's thankful to UJB for making this all happen. There was so much that had to go on behind the scenes. That's why you deserve all the champagne. Pass some to me, too. Plus, it's all good because we had a few guys finding Kangaroo Court, so they're technically paying for the bottle anyway.
Yeah, no doubt. And by the way, it is Dom Perignon for those that want to know. So you're going to celebrate. Look, Marge had Andre Champagne at $4. With me running the team, don't worry about a thing. $300 bottle of Dom is there. That's how we're going to celebrate.
I love it.
And then
that's
the
kind of
afterwards.
JB I love.
And then we're going to get a table with you, Scotty, at Live for the whole 95 team so they can celebrate at Live.
Yeah, that's going to maybe happen for real at some point. Definitely coming to Miami to celebrate, especially post-pandemic life. And let's not also forget, as we just look at the box score here and who did the big damage. First off, Hal Morris was 4 for 4 in this game. He was named MVP on your side. Santiago with the big home run, knocked in 2. Boone had 3 RBIs. But also, I don't want to sleep on the fact that it's okay. Shurik just didn't have it. So it required a lot of tweaking and a lot of aggressiveness on your end, on the managerial side, to say, okay, let's bring in Wells. And then you were like, all right, no, I need my guy up, and I'm gonna find the right guy here to drive some momentum for my team. And then you let John Smiley ride. You let him hit a couple times because it was more important what he was doing on the mound. And then Brantley shuts the door. So I've got to say, this game will really test your manager's strategy and what you want to do. It is the ultimate baseball strategy game. And you very, very much passed the test. It's like you've been in the game for a while, huh?
Yeah, maybe so. But there's no doubt that you've got to understand the pitcher and what the results are with each hitter, because positioning the defense, as you could see in this game, mattered. A couple of times we brought the outfield in. We got the fly out to left field. Probably wouldn't have happened if we had the outfield in normal position here. We put the shift on a couple of times with Smiley pitching, knowing we could get ground balls to the left side. That worked out as well. So this is a tremendous game to play. I love the detail in it, but it is really important to make sure you're positioning the defense. You know, when we had Pokey Reese up in this game, what did we do? We brought the outfield in, right? We brought him in shallow. Didn't have the power. So I think one thing we learned in this game is you got a lot of flexibility in how to run it. You got to get your bullpen ready so that you're not in a hurry to put him in there. We warmed them up when we needed to. But more importantly, we positioned each guy the way we needed to win. And that's what's special about this game. It's really detail-oriented.
And just to put a bow on having such a great guest like you, JB, the last thing that I wanted to touch on as we got to see the 95-95 Reds square off is just a little background for you on why I would say not only were you the youngest manager at the time that we've ever seen in Major League Baseball at 31 years old when you first started GMing the Cincinnati Reds, but even going back one step, when I was going through my JB notes from yesterday and just refreshing myself on your career journey, you joined the Pittsburgh Pirates front office, the baseball ops with Sid Thrift there. And I remember you telling me you modernized the Pirates scouting system, did things back then that were ahead of your time. And hey, your brain got you to where you were. So what, I guess just, I mean, Cliff Notes version, but how did that all go down? And where did you get some of the background there to kind of take this game to the next level?
I mean, I think the important thing to understand is everybody wants to be in baseball. Everyone can contribute, but to be able to succeed, you have to bring stuff to the table that no one else has. And so when I first got into baseball right out of college, believe it or not, computers were not a thing yet. And so the first thing I did when I get to the Pirates, I had taken computer classes in school. And the first thing I did was computerize the entire scouting department. They had been working with file folders, and you would not believe the number of papers. Every time they tried to make a trade, you would not believe the piles of paper that were on the GM's desk. He couldn't even go through it. So I quickly computerized everything. That was my door open, because for the GM, he could have information right at his fingertips like we all do today. But that was kind of the first spot. And then the other key, really, Scotty Braun, was all I wanted to do was learn. You know, my first 8-9 years in baseball, I got rid of my mouth and added an ear. So I had 3 years, and I just learned from everybody. And it didn't matter if it was a Jim Leland or a Sid Thrift or a Joe Brown or a Hal McRae. I listened to everybody. And then later in life, when I was blessed to be a GM at a young age, what did I do? I surrounded myself with guys that had won world championships. I brought in Davey Johnson, Jack McKeon, Bob Boone. I mean, it was just one great mind after another, because that's what the game is. It's not about one person's mind. It's about a collection of minds. And so when I looked at my career of 16 years, you know, I had a lot of fun, but the best part about it always will be the people and the players and the group effort to try to win in an environment that's fun, a strong culture, and being surrounded with people with high character that know how to win championships.
And the stories and the memories, some of which you shared and gave us a little taste during this series. And also, I just thought that was important, because I know there are some gamers in the out of the park baseball community that are playing this, maybe some youngsters too that are going, yeah, I wonder how I can get into that spot and eventually be on the big idea talking about a team that I was a part of as a scout or an analytics department member, baseball ops guy, coach, whatever it is. So JB, you're the best. This was so fun. I hope you enjoyed it. This lived up to expectations and more for me in terms of how the game played out, and you crushed it.
It was a lot of fun, Scotty. I enjoyed it. More important, the team I was managing won. And I hate to be competitive, but I got to tell you, I really wanted to win. I'm glad it played out that way. But thanks for having me. I love the game. I'm going to get all my friends and family members playing this game. That's how much fun it was. This is going to be a huge seller. There's no question about it. What a great product.
Out of the Park Baseball 22, the ultimate baseball strategy game. Play with the pros, play, and then you can celebrate afterwards like JB. Enjoy this victory, Jim Bowden, and thanks again. We'll chat soon, my friend.
Ciao and chillax. Guess what? We gone.
Out of the Park Baseball 22. Play what the pros play. The world's best baseball strategy game. Whether you're new school or old school, all that matters is winning. Take full control of any current Major League Baseball franchise. Discover and develop elite players, coaches, and scouts. Run your team your way and build a World Series champion. The Infinite Baseball Sandbox. All new for 2021. Stunning new 3D ballparks for every major league team. Or build your own unique, majestic landmark with our dramatically improved ballpark construction kit. A completely remodeled coaching system that connects and impacts your entire organization. All new strategies and management options give you unprecedented control. Plus, dozens of gameplay and performance improvements that make the best even better. And of course, Perfect Team 22. The critically acclaimed online competition roars back this season with more strategies, more content, and a brand new mode, Perfect Draft. Out of the Park Baseball 22, available worldwide on March 26th, 2021.